Right, I want to get your quick comments on the politics of the day. Still on the front page of the Daily Nation, Raila party trades blows with the Ruto over handshake. Still the same on the Standard as well. Murade, what Uhuru will do, but up there there's secret talks. Raila and Ruto square off again. DP claims on Citizen TV show that Odinga sent him an emissary before the handshake. Next day, Raila via proxy says this is not true and that he can work with others, but not Ruto. Honorable Alice Nganga Junior was coming to you straight because you are a fierce critic of Raila before.
Yes, I was.
What do you make of these old handshakes?
No, but what we need to understand that it is Ruto said this, Raila said that. Yeah. It's only the two of them who knows who is telling the truth. Who knows the truth, yeah. I might try to say this one is the one who is telling the truth, or this other one is the one who is telling the truth. But having been in there, you know the inner workings of this. What do you read into this whole story? William and Ruto and Raila has worked before. So you don't know the two of them who is telling the truth. It's only their word against each other. So that one we cannot tell. About handshake, I don't blame handshake because it came to stabilize our nation. That's true. Where I'm getting a little bit lost is who is checking the government, the way you ask. Because even us, when we were in parliament, at least we knew what the other side would say. And we were very careful with what the other side would say. And I think when you have a competitive, a healthy competition, is very useful, rather than when we leave things the way they are right now. I can tell you, we need somebody to check the government, and it is not a bad thing because once you are checked, you pull up your socks. Where you think you're not doing well, you know you are going, Umtata will come and criticize you, but it is no longer there. Welcome. It is no longer there. So I can tell you right now, things, if you ask me, things are not headed in the right direction. At least we need somebody to tell the government, this is what you promise. We are not getting it. But from what we have seen right now, all of us, it is like in 1992 where we have gone back to one party. It's like a single party state. Yeah, it is like a single party state. So you don't know who to check the government. You don't know who to say when things are not right. You don't know who to say when things are headed in the right directions. And I think I don't know where we are headed as we speak right now. Because I actually don't know where we are headed. That one I can tell you as a matter of fact. Because even if things don't work, nobody will tell you they are not working. If things are working, there's nobody also to praise you that things are working. Because all of us are in the same house.
So we're all in the dark. It seems we've gotten into our topic already. Yes. We should give the government accountable and why. And we have Okiya Mtata now joins us. Human rights activist, has many titles, but we can stick with that one for now. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. The #1 litigant as well.
#1 litigant. And the people's defender.
The people's defender.
As well. Karibu, let's give him a chance to catch his breath as Alphonse also weighs in on the back and forth now that he said. He said. You usually say he said, she said.
He said. So the context for this and why the media would love it is these are prominent leaders with a serious following within the country. So the challenge is to have us talking about a back and forth without serious thought about the weight that this conversation is adding to the development of the country. So whether Ruto, the deputy president, was the initial person who met Raila, why should that matter right now? It's over a year since these things happened. It's a good sensational story that he's coming out a year later. It's a good political story for that. It will make supporters have something to talk about, but it's not something I would prioritize if I was choosing the stories to put.
Dr. Sam, what do you make of it? Because he asks why that matters, but many would say that it's because then it gives context. It means this was never about the people. It was always about deal making within the politicians themselves. So if a deal doesn't work with you, then I would rather try and work it out with somebody else.
Partly yes, but I will also say partly no, because I watched the interview and I saw when the DP made that comment, you could see he was prepared for that. He knew he was going to unleash that, and it's a bombshell, and we would now end up talking about that. And sure enough, is the headline, you know, in the dailies today. And how I look at it is, this is the usual back and forth, the politicians trying to hijack the conversations of the day so that we focus on this drama, the contest between the two, because it is scoring, you know, political points. Because if you ask yourself, why now? You know, why is he bringing this to the fore now? And the way it was calculated, of course, it is working because we have followed trail now. We are talking about, you know, he said this, and it's the same drama. The things that you are not able to verify, basically, because unless somebody was to produce the recordings and say that I recorded this conversation and this happened. But right now we are talking about that. I always say at the expense of issues that would be really important. So yes, it's deal making in the past, but now this is looking at the future, because the conversation again revolves around, you know, 2022. This is basically where things are headed. Well, we have so many issues that we could be looking at, and you can see the story now has relegated the issues where we talk about drought and hunger to the other pages, basically, and not talking about that, while those issues are more urgent and important and require our attention.
In fact, it's very unfortunate that the story of hunger, 1 million in dire straits, is on the back page.
In fact, we had forgotten about it until today. This is now
until yesterday when the press conference happened.
Exactly. That's because there was an alert that the long rains are going to delay further.
Exactly.
Well, Citizen TV has a story a big story that we run this weekend related to this. So there are those who are trying,
but collectively, for some time we've not been talking about these issues. Like it was overtaken by the by-elections and the other things, and the fact that we had rain for 1 or 2 days. We forgot that there's still a significant number of Kenyans who are affected by this issue.
Well, here, if I could just add that a story being on the back page, it's still one of the prime pages.
It's one of the prime pages.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Thank you for that correction. Care to weigh in before we take a quick break? Your thoughts on
from
this?
When you stand,
Go ahead.
Was this handshake even ever for the people? From where you stand, having seen the political issues that's going on, and I know you deal with the people on the ground, and do they feel included?
The handshake is a media event.
Spectacle.
It's good for newspaper headlines and stuff like that. The people want affordable and quality healthcare. The people want affordable and quality food. The people want affordable and quality transport. The people want affordable and quality education. The handshake has nothing to do with that. A ceasefire among sharks is not good for the omena. You see, when sharks devour sharks, the small fish have their way. But when sharks make peace, the small fish don't have their way. I think what we should understand is that the context within political power is fought for in this country. I use the analogy of a prison, where you have got a prison with prisoners inside who want to break away, and you have got jailers who want to keep the prison intact and look for ways of pacifying the prisoners from breaking out.
To keep them from rebelling.
So they'll come up with all this kind of, they tell you that you make me the chief jailer so that I can allow you more time in the sunshine. I can fumigate your rooms. Wow. I can allow you this, but never to break the prison. Where some of us are, we want to break that prison. And so the handshake between Raila and Uhuru does not exist in our arrangement. It's a ceasefire among people who have destroyed this country. And some of us want to go. We want to see proper transport in our country. We want to see quality and affordable food. We want to see quality and affordable health care. We want to see quality and affordable education accessible to all. Give us those four things, and you can go and do your handshakes wherever you want. But without those four things, there's no handshake. You are fooling us.
All right.
And the newspapers have fallen into the same. They have failed to set the agenda for this country. Every day is a new day in Kenya. Nobody's held to account for what he did yesterday. And that's why there's this charade, even the so-called war on corruption. There's somewhat amnesia of sorts in the media. And there's something. Issues of yesterday are left in yesterday's newspapers. Yes, and then today is like a new day. Every day you come and you look at the head and then say, what the hell is going on? That's how you feel? That's how I feel, that we are not making any progress. And it's time Kenyans went back and said, where are we today? And where do we need to be tomorrow? And what do we need to do in between to move this country from where we are today to where we need to be and where we ought to be tomorrow? All right. And to me, that's why the revolution will happen. Even I go back to the analogy of Baba, who was saying he wants to go to Canaan. Okay? I almost said you sound like you're talking about the Canaan that yes, the Canaan trip. I was also going to Canaan, but from what destination? Baba was going to Canaan from Egypt. Me, I was going to Canaan from Babylon. You got a difference. We already got our independence.
What's the distance like from
the issue is we got to Canaan when you got independence. We messed it up and we were taken to prisoner to Babylon by our failure to manage our economy. So now the issue is going back to Jerusalem from Babylon. We need Nehemiah, not Joshua.
Wow.
We need to reconstruct, not to destroy the walls of Jericho.
Okay.
And that mindset. So as much as we are marching to Canaan, Baba is coming from the wrong side, from Egypt. We left Egypt long time ago.
Okay, thank you. I think that's a good place to take a break. There's a lot to think about, which we'll take the break on. When we return, we get straight into our topic, who should keep the government accountable and why. And I think Okia has set the groundwork for that in terms of keeping the government accountable. What role should media play, civil society, and all the other bodies, parliament as well. We have a former MP here for that very reason to tell us what she did when she was there and what she's seeing now that she's on the outside. What perspective does she have now? 22422 is our SMS line.
Can we Daybreak. You can always send in your comments. Hashtag is Daybreak, like Okia Mtata says, a ceasefire among sharks is not good for the men.
My goodness. All right. Prisoners and jailers is how he views the nation. We take a quick break. We'll be right back.